behind schedule. It's my fault. Jack is in school and had to run. I was running a little bit behind. Jack joins us here. He's one. We put this out on Twitter a little bit ago, but 3-time runner up. He's been looking at schools here for I haven't talked to him here recently, but these are the last. This is the last school list that we have. We're going to get into some of this, but Air Force, Augustana, Grandview, Iowa State, Navy, Nebraska, North Dakota State, Northern Colorado, Upper Iowa, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So big list. And one thing that Jack didn't get to do was go on some of these visits, obviously, with everything going on. So get into kind of how he landed where he did. So pretty excited to I saw this kid when he was like this tall, in wrestling. So to see him, as a senior going in and trying to get his goal and make a commitment to go to the next level is pretty cool to see. So Jack, welcome on, man. It's a big day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Excited.
So I talked with you at Night of Conflict, right? And you had
Yep.
not made a decision. You were kind of up in the air of where you wanted to go. And with COVID and what you could and cannot do, I know you were able to make a couple unofficial visits though, right? Before all this kind of hit.
Yeah. I got to take, I actually got my unofficial visit in with both Iowa State and Wisconsin before COVID hit. And we actually got the news that there would be no fans at NCAAs before they got canceled up in Wisconsin.
So, I mean, like this kind of, I want to say you got robbed of like being able to go to some of these other schools maybe, but I mean, maybe sometimes, when right? So,
Yeah. I feel that way for
all right.
sure.
So
Just kind of
let's,
new.
you know, um, let's just get right into it. Right. So, I mean, I don't want to wait. Sometimes I watch some of these commitments and they're like, drag on. And I got a lot of questions. Got some questions I want to get to here, but let's just get right into it. Where are you going to be going next year?
So I landed on the decision with my family and my coaches and a lot of my peers and friends. I'll be going to Iowa State next year. So super excited to go wrestle for Coach Dresser and Coach Metcalf and Coach St. John. They have a great program there with a great culture and some really talented wrestlers. So gonna be cycling.
Man, these guys. I mean, Iowa State's hot right now. So I mean, they've landed multiple commits here the last couple of days. The RTC's rolling, and where some of these things, the momentum, I guess, or these some things that the coaches were talking about, like, hey, we want you to be a part of this. What kind of went into this decision here? Because it sounds like it just happened here recently that you made this commitment.
Yeah, so it was pretty recent. I kind of have been thinking about where I'd want to go for since Night of Conflict. Honestly, I've been kind of thinking, okay, it's about time to make a decision. I'd like to get this out of the way and just kind of talked with all the coaches and sat down with my family and we just thought where the best fit would be and that ended up being at Iowa State and I definitely think that the Cyclones have a lot of momentum going with picking up Manuel Rojas and having Joe Colon back at the CRTC is a big deal. So yeah, definitely a lot of momentum going.
So growing up here in Iowa and being a part of youth wrestling and your dad taking you all over the place, was Iowa State the program that you always thought or you wanted to wrestle for, or were obviously you and I in Iowa, how did you guess you land at Iowa State? Or is this something that you've always been a dream of yours?
So I vividly remember the first time I ever really watched the NCAA tournament was in 2010, and that was I remember Varner was kind of the big name in college wrestling at that point, and then after that, Iowa State had more success at NCAAs, and I had just been thinking, that's what I want to do. I want to wrestle at the Division I level, and at the time, Iowa State was my dream school, and this just talking to more coaches and thinking about that, I had more options, I guess, that I had to weigh. And so I don't want to say that they were the clear cut favorite right out the gate. but the more that I got to talk to Coach Dresser, and their staff, and the more I got to get on campus, I mean, I just felt at home, and got along great with most of the guys, and just felt right. So that's kind of how I landed.
So I mean, Higgleson just committed for Johnston, right?
Yep.
Um, and then Rojas committed here. This is like last week, right?
Yeah.
And now you. So I mean, when who did you call? Who is the coach that you called to let them know that you're coming to Iowa State?
I called Coach Dresser. I got to talk to him on the phone, and I said, I want to be a Cyclone. Me and my family sat down, and we think this is the best place to be, and just got to kind of talk through the details on that, and so that was the first coach that I called, and then after that, I gave Coach Kudum a visit to his room. He's a teacher here at Sergeant Bluff, so I stopped in his room, and we just kind of talked about it for a while, and he just basically congratulated me, told me great work, and uh, then we had practice. We had like a unofficial practice after that. So
In the barn?
just basically,
Yeah, practice in the
yeah, in the
barn.
barn. Basically, it was congratulations, happy for you. Let's go get to work.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got a lot of unfinished business that's kind of been talked about a lot here this off season of being a 3-time runner up. I mean, obviously the pressure of going and doing that. So I don't want to. I mean, I feel like that keeps getting brought up, but there you say, hey, unfinished business. There really is for you. That's the goal, right? But now, yeah, I mean, being a state champ is the goal, right? But now, I mean, you got bigger things. You're going to the next level, man. You're a Division I wrestler, and there's bigger goals outside of the state wrestling tournament. Um, I guess when did that goal of being, I mean, a Division I wrestler, when did it like hit you? Like, hey, like when did the coaches start reaching out to you? When did it become a reality that you were uh, you were going to be a D1 wrestler, I guess. I mean, did you always know that you're going to be D1? Did you think D3, D2, I guess? When did it become a reality? Like, I got a good shot to be part of a big program.
I don't really think it hit me. Even into my junior year, I don't think I really let that soak in. I think I got my first call my sophomore year summer going into junior year, and I think after that, I basically didn't really let it sink in until I think probably towards the summer this year, when we were all quarantined. I just kind of let that soak in, and I thought, I got aspirations and I have goals at the next level that I have to start working for now. I'm definitely not gonna take anything for granted this winter. I've come up short in 3 straight state finals, and I'm doing my doing my best to make sure that I don't let that happen again. I definitely can't take that for granted.
Did losing like wrestling? I mean, you play football, right? But like knowing
Yep.
that we might not have wrestling and not being able to be in the room as much as much as you maybe wanted to be because of COVID, did it make you, I guess, fall more in love with the sport, or what are some emotions that have been going on here the last few months?
I would say, oh, sorry, my hand's in the way. I would say my emotions have just been, when I first kind of found out that we might not wrestle this summer, I was pretty upset, and honestly, I was kind of angry. I felt like there's an opportunity for me to maybe, go All American at Fargo, and get some exposure during the summer. I felt like that kind of got taken away from a lot of wrestlers. I mean, all the incoming freshmen, all of the guys who had been wrestling in high school for a couple of years, and then the seniors in my class this year. I felt like we maybe missed out on an opportunity, but after that kind of initial emotion, I just really started to think, and um, I had to make sure that I changed the way that I thought about it, and just try to look at the positives of it. I have an opportunity to fix my eating, or fix my lifting program, or maybe get some runs in every day. Um, just little things here and there that maybe could push me over the edge in the winter. So I think I was very like upset and angry at first, but after that, I really just started to change my thinking and just let it motivate me that you didn't get this opportunity, but maybe we can make the most of it in the winter.
So, with this commitment, obviously, a lot of teams, schools were were inviting for for you to come to their program and making that decision or making that phone call to some of these coaches. I'm sure that you were really close to, or became a real relationship, right? Um,
Yeah,
for people that are watching this that are maybe going to be going through the same scenario here soon and making their commitment or a couple years down the road, do you like, I think it's real important for us, for kids to learn like about the process. You've obviously had like an interesting, a lot of our seniors have had an interesting recruiting trail here, obvious for obvious reasons. But do you have any words of advice of like how to handle, when coaches like start calling you and then obviously making that decision to be like, like this isn't, I'm not picking you. Like that's like breaking up with a girlfriend sometimes, it's like it's tough to do.
that's actually a really good way of putting it. I mean, those calls were hard to make, and it really is difficult to pick a school and let the other coaches know that you made a decision, and that's just what your decision came out to be. I definitely struggled calling those coaches and just kind of letting them know that I had picked Iowa State. And, as bad as that is, and it is hard, um, you have to always, in my opinion, you have to kind of just, it's just one of those parts that you got to do. And my advice to anybody, oh geez, I'm stuttering with words right now, but
Yeah, all right.
if you're trying to decide where you want to go to school, my biggest advice would just to be patient. Just be patient, see what's coming. You might have somebody contact you the next day that you weren't expecting and that you were hoping would. Um, or you may figure out that you fell in love with the school and you want to commit. Um, you really just have to be patient through the process and make sure that you enjoy it, but not necessarily dwell on it.
How important was it for you to get this out of the way before your senior year? Like during like this summer, talking with your family, did you know that you wanted to get this out of the way?
Yeah, so my original plan before COVID started was to get this done before school started. And obviously with COVID, I couldn't go where I wanted to go as far as visit wise. But I was very fortunate to see most of the schools that I wanted to go to. And um the plan kind of changed to, okay, before wrestling season, I would like to get this done. And I really didn't know if I was going to be able to or not, but um, I'm thankful that me and my family kind of sat down and really thought through all of my options, and we got to land on Iowa State. And I'm very, very grateful and blessed to have Coach Dresser have been contacting me and recruiting me through this process, and very grateful that he wants me a part of the team.
Did do you have any? I mean, Iowa State, Iowa, you and I, we got some rivalries in here. Do you have any? Do you have any Hawkeye family that were like bummed that you didn't go to the Hawkeyes, or you and I, or Grandview and State? I know that some of these schools were on you.
It's actually the exact opposite. My family is all Iowa Staters. My mom, dad graduated from Iowa State. My sister and brother-in-law graduated from Iowa State. So it's the exact opposite. We all are Cyclone fans.
I bet your dad was just grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, we were all pretty excited. I think my mom smiled more than anybody. I think she was pretty happy with the decision, but I never felt pressure from them. They always said, do what's best for you. If you want to go to Wisconsin, if you want to go to Nebraska, if you want to go to Augustana, wherever it may be, we support you 100%. But I think they might have been a little bit extra happy when I decided to go to Iowa State.
So looking back at your career so far, and again, you got lots left to accomplish and what you want to do, right? Looking back, we always think about woulda, coulda, shoulda, but like, what are some of the happiest moments of the like not even like win or lose, losses related. Like, what are some of your favorite high school or even youth, memories being out there in Western Iowa?
I think one of the most unforgettable moments, I mean, my freshman year, during winter break, I had taken, I think, 6 losses at that point already. I think I took 6 losses in the first 2 weeks, and I was really just kinda down on myself. I was like, "Am I on this level? Can I do this?" And, me and Coach Kudum just kinda sat in his office, and we had a heart to heart and, just pushes in practice, when I thought I might have been too tired to get another takedown or to get out from the bottom, and him just constantly pushing me and telling me that I can do this. That changed my life. I think that changed my whole trajectory of my wrestling career. And I think the exclamation point to that was the semifinals. I just remember, after the match was over, just getting up and giving him a big hug. And I mean, I was bawling. And um, it was just an unforgettable moment. Win or lose that match, I'll never forget winter break. Having that heart to heart with Coach Kudum.
Yeah, our sport has those moments that it's just it's always going to stick with you, and it's all. I mean, it always seems like it's not the ones where we get our hands raised to. Like it's that's what makes it so special, right? So, well, I want to. I know you got to get back to class here, so I wanted to give you the floor. You mentioned Coach, Kudum here. I want you to give the floor of just people to thank because, man, you've been on the youth circuit for years. Everyone knows the last name Gaukel, and I do want to give a plug out here for Western Iowa. Very impressed with Night of Conflict and all the things you guys got going on out there. The hype is there. You guys and Klingon Smith. Man, I don't want to count anybody out here, but there's a lot of names that have been kind of slowly. I wouldn't say slowly, but like putting Western Iowa back on the map, as I think you said a couple times. Like we have good wrestling out here in Western Iowa, so I want you to have the floor to like thank some people out there that are have gotten you to this point to get a commitment here prior to your senior year.
The first person or people that I can think to thank is my mom and dad. I wouldn't be anywhere in my life without them. I mean, they've done such a great job, and I'm truly grateful and blessed to have the family and the support that I have, especially from them. I know my dad and my mom have both sacrificed a lot so that I can have opportunities. Whether that be Tulsa, Virginia Beach, Fargo, even the little state tournaments and local tournaments that I went to as a kid. They sacrificed a lot of time and a lot of resources for me to be able to get to this point. So my first thank you has to go to them, and the second thank you that I would have is definitely to, Coach Kudum, Coach Maxfield, Coach Thompson, Coach Conway, all the coaches that I've ever been around, even from when I was youth to um, high altitude to um, when I kind of got older and started wrestling at Swift with Joe Stevens and Jake Head. I really can't thank those guys enough. I really don't know where I would be at without my support system behind me. And I want to thank God because I know without His plan and without faith in Him that I'd be completely lost. And to your point about Western Iowa wrestling, I think we have a lot to gain from events like Night of Conflict because we really do get that exposure that not everybody um, may know about us. We have some great wrestlers on this side of the state too, and um, it's awesome to see and be a part of that movement in Western Iowa. And my last thank you, I want to thank all my teachers and our staff here at SBL. They've done a phenomenal job day in and day out teaching us and helping us grow as people. I really don't think there's a better school out there than Sergeant Bluff. Everything here is just wonderful. I mean, we are truly blessed as a student body to be here.
And there he is, Jack Gaukel, Iowa State commit, man. That's congratulations.
Thank you. Go Cyclones.
I think you should celebrate by putting that hat on or that mask on or whatever that is behind you. How has that been there for probably a year? What is that thing?
I
Pick
think
it up.
isn't that the old like
Put it
Sergeant Bluff
on.
mascot thing?
Put it on.
Maybe a different day. Maybe a
Put it
different
on.
day.
Well, send me a picture.
No,
We'll put it on.
sorry.
We'll put it on social media. All right, man.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
I appreciate you and your family. Always been huge supporters of ours and bringing and your dad making Night of Conflict come out to the western side and Sioux City, and it's just great for that area, and super happy for you and your family and the program at Iowa State, what they're able to do here these few short years with Dresser's been in the company. So looking forward to maybe more commits come here, man. These guys are red hot. So land Jack Gaukel, number 22 on our Fab 50, 3-time runner up, and going for that state title this year. So one more shout out, Jack. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, if you're looking to make a commitment, holler at us. We'd love to be able to get you on here. If not, we'd love to be able to tell your story, kind of where you're looking at and why you chose the school that you did. So hit us up on social media, or you want to do a live commitment. I love doing these type of things. This makes my day happy just to see kids get their goal, at least to make that commitment to go to the next level. So I'm happy to be a part of it. The wrestlers are the ones that are doing all the work. We just get to tell the story. So thanks for tuning in live here every single Wednesday. If you're new to I Wrestle, you're just checking in. Maybe the Goggle family shared it. Every single Wednesday, we've got a live show at 12 o'clock talking Iowa high school wrestling, youth wrestling, girls wrestling, college wrestling. We're just, we're trying to stay positive. We're hoping that things kind of clean up here so we can have some wrestling. We want some wrestling this year. And so all I can ask is let's stay positive. If you get some negatives in your world, there's a lot worse things out in the world than not being able to wrestle. We want to wrestle, but there's a lot worse things that could be happening in our lives. So stay positive vibes only. Until next time, thanks for watching.